Did you know that saying I am optimistic in English can actually make you sound less optimistic? I know, that sounds backwards. But Americans almost never say I am optimistic. Instead, they show hope with tiny everyday phrases like it'll all work out. Stick with us, because today Leo is going to make the exact mistake 90% of learners make, and we'll fix it together. Hey everyone, welcome to Speak Like a Native. I'm Maya.
And I'm Leo. Let's get into it. Maya, I have a question. Last week, my American coworker saw me looking worried about a project. She said, "Hey, don't stress, it'll all work out." I understood every word, but I felt like there was something more going on. Is that just being nice?
That's a great question, Leo. Yes, she was being nice, but she was also showing a very American kind of optimism. In the United States, people often use short, casual phrases to express hope and positivity, even when things are uncertain. The phrase "it'll all work out" is one of the most common. It means, in the end, things will be okay, so don't worry too much right now.
So it's not a promise that everything is perfect?
Exactly. It's not a guarantee. It's more like a warm, reassuring statement. It says, I believe things will get better, and I want you to feel calmer. That's a big part of American optimism culture.
That makes sense. But I've also heard people say the glass is half full. What does that have to do with optimism?
Oh, that's the perfect place to start. The glass half full is a classic metaphor. Imagine a glass of water filled to the middle. A pessimistic person looks at it and says, the glass is half empty. An optimistic person looks at the same glass and says, the glass is half full. Same glass, same amount of water. But the optimistic person focuses on what's there, not on what's missing.
So if someone says I try to see the glass half full, it means they're trying to be positive?
Right. And in American culture, this way of thinking is really valued. People often praise someone who can see the glass half full, especially during hard times. For example, if a friend loses a job but says, well, at least now I have time to learn something new. You could say, wow, you really see the glass half full.
I like that. It's more visual than just saying be positive.
And that's exactly why it's so common. It makes optimism feel less like advice and more like a shared attitude. Now, here's the part that surprises most people. Americans use these optimistic phrases not just for big life problems, but for tiny everyday annoyances too.
Wait, really? Like what?
Imagine you're at a coffee shop and they got your order wrong. You wanted oat milk, but they gave you regular milk. A very American response might be, no problem, I'll make it work. That phrase, make it work, means you'll accept the situation and adapt without complaining. It shows you're flexible and positive.
Oh, so make it work is like saying I'll manage?
Exactly. But make it work feels more active and optimistic. You're not just managing, you're going to do something to fix it or accept it cheerfully. It's a can-do attitude. For example, if the projector doesn't work before a presentation, an American colleague might say, don't panic, we'll make it work. That means they'll find a solution.
I think I've been saying it's okay in those situations. Is that wrong?
It's not grammar wrong, but it can sound a little flat. It's okay often means you're accepting something, but maybe still a little disappointed. I'll make it work shows active positivity. Listen to the difference. It's okay, I'll drink regular milk versus no problem, I'll make it work. The second one sounds much more upbeat and American.
Oh, I hear the difference. It's the energy.
Right, and that energy is a big part of American optimism. But here's where learners from different backgrounds often make mistakes.
Like me?
Yes, like you and millions of others. For example, many Spanish speakers try to translate tengo optimismo directly and say I have optimism. But in English, we don't say that. We say I'm optimistic, or even better. We show it with phrases like, I'm sure it'll work out.
I've heard Spanish speakers say I have optimism before.
It's a very common translation error. Chinese speakers sometimes translate "meser" as it's nothing or no problem. But when someone is worried about a big exam, saying it's nothing can sound like you're dismissing their feelings. It's much warmer to say, don't worry, it'll all work out.
That's a great point. In Chinese, "meser" is very common, but directly translated, it sounds cold.
Right. And Arabic speakers sometimes use inshallah, which means God willing. That's beautiful and I love it. But in everyday American English, people might say fingers crossed or it'll work out to express hope without religious language.
So it's about matching the cultural tone, not just translating words.
Exactly. Now let's go back to it'll all work out. This phrase is special because it works for both small and big worries. If Leo tells me, Maya, I'm so nervous about my English test tomorrow, I can say, hey, you've been studying hard. It'll all work out.
And that means you think I'll pass?
It means I'm expressing confidence and support. Maybe I don't know for sure, but saying it'll all work out calms you down and shows I'm on your side. It's very common among friends, family, and even coworkers.
Can I use it for something really serious? Like if someone is sick?
Yes, but carefully. It works when you want to comfort someone. For example, if a friend says, my dad lost his job and I'm scared, you could say, I'm so sorry. That's really hard. But you guys have each other, and I really believe it'll all work out. That feels warm and supportive without being fake.
That's good to know. I used to say don't worry all the time, but now I see it'll all work out has more heart.
You're a fast learner, Leo. Don't worry is still fine, but it can feel like a command. It'll all work out feels like a shared belief, and that's the key.
Okay, so we have glass half full, make it work, and it'll all work out. Are there other similar phrases?
Plenty. But today, let's focus on these three. They're the core of everyday American optimism. But before we move on, I want to show you how not to use them.
Uh-oh, this is where I make the mistake?
Exactly. You're going to say something now, and I want you to really try. Pretend I just told you my flight got canceled and I'm stuck at the airport. What would you say to comfort me?
Don't worry, you will be fine.
That's okay, but it's a little flat. More natural. Oh no, that's so annoying, but hey, you'll make it work, right? Or that's rough, but it'll all work out. Notice we add a little empathy first, then the optimistic phrase.
So I shouldn't just jump straight to positivity?
Right. Americans usually acknowledge the problem first. Oh no, that's rough. Then add hope. It makes the optimism feel more real and less like a brush off.
That's such a good point. I often jump straight to, it's fine, and people think I'm being cold.
And that's exactly the mistake many learners make. So rule number 1, acknowledge, then comfort. Say something like, that's tough, then, but I know you'll make it work, or it'll all work out.
Acknowledge, then comfort. Got it.
Now, here's the part that surprises most people. Americans sometimes use these optimistic phrases even when things are not actually fine. For example, if a plan fails completely, someone might still say, well, we'll make it work. What they really mean is, we don't have a solution yet, but I'm not going to panic.
Wait, so it's almost like a social habit?
Exactly. It's a social lubricant. It keeps the mood positive and shows you're a team player. In American work culture, if you complain too much or sound too negative, people might think you're difficult to work with. Saying we'll make it work signals that you're adaptable and solution-oriented.
So it's not just about being happy, it's about being professional?
Yes, and that's a huge cultural insight. Optimism in the US is often linked to productivity and success. It's not just a feeling, it's a behavior. That's why phrases like make it work are so common in offices, schools, even in families.
I see. So if I want to sound more natural at work, I should use make it work more often?
Use it when there's a small problem and you want to show you're flexible. For example, if the meeting room is double booked, instead of saying, oh no, this is a disaster, you can say, no worries, we'll make it work. That instantly makes you sound like a problem solver.
That's so useful. I've been saying let's find another room, but we'll make it work sounds more confident.
It does. And make it work can also be used for personal challenges. If you're learning English and it's hard, you can say, it's tough, but I'll make it work. That means you'll find a way to keep going.
I love that. It's like a mini pep talk for yourself.
Exactly. And that leads us to the second key phrase, it'll all work out. This one is more about the future. It's for when someone is anxious about something that hasn't happened yet. Imagine your friend has a job interview tomorrow morning. She's nervous. You can say, you've prepared so well. It'll all work out.
What if she doesn't get the job?
Well, the phrase isn't a guarantee, but at the moment it provides comfort and confidence. That's the whole point. Americans value staying positive because it helps reduce stress and move forward. It's not about denying reality, it's about managing emotions.
So if a friend is worried about an exam, I should say, it'll all work out instead of, you will pass?
Either works, but it'll all work out is softer and more general. You will pass might be too specific and could feel like pressure. It'll all work out says, no matter what happens, you'll be okay. That's very reassuring.
That's nice. And it sounds more natural?
Much more natural. Now, let's practice. I'll give you a situation and you respond with one of our 3 phrases. Ready?
Ready.
Situation 1. Your roommate is sad because her favorite cafe closed down permanently.
That's sad. But hey, you'll find a new favorite. It'll all work out. Is that good?
That's great. You acknowledged it and added comfort. Perfect.
Thank you. Give me another one.
Situation 2. Your coworker says, I don't know how we're going to finish this project by Friday. We have too much work.
Don't stress. We'll make it work. Let's break it down and focus. Something like that?
Excellent. We'll make it work shows confidence and teamwork. That's exactly what a native would say.
This is fun. I feel like I'm already sounding more like an American optimist.
You are. Now, situation 3. Your sister is worried about her first day at a new school.
I would say it's normal to be nervous, but you'll make friends. It'll all work out.
That's perfect. You see how each phrase fits a different nuance? Glass half full describes a general attitude. Make it work is about handling current problems. It'll all work out is about future worries.
That's a simple way to remember them. But what about glass half full? Can I use it in a sentence like, I am glass half full?
No, Leo. That's exactly the mistake I was worried about. You don't say I am glass half full. That sounds like you're a physical glass. The correct form is I try to see the glass half full. Or she's the kind of person who always sees the glass half full. It's always about seeing or looking.
Oh, so the phrase is always with a verb like see or look.
Right. You can also say I'm a glass half full kind of person. That's very natural and common, but never I am glass half full. That's a classic beginner error.
I'm so glad you caught that. I might have said that in a meeting.
And now you won't. This is why we practice. Let me also warn you about another common mistake. Many learners translate Loven from Chinese directly to optimistic and use it in formal ways. For example, I am optimistic about this project. That's correct, but a bit formal. In casual conversation, Americans are more likely to say, I think it'll work out, or I have a good feeling about this.
So optimistic is more for writing or formal speech.
It's not wrong, but it can sound a little stiff in casual chat. You'll hear it in news reports or business meetings, but between friends, you'd say, I'm sure it'll be fine, or it'll all work out.
Good to know. So the key is to show optimism with actions, not just say the word optimistic.
Exactly, and that's the core of American optimism culture. It's about practical positivity. You don't just feel hopeful. You say it in a way that helps others feel hopeful too.
That's beautiful. It's like language as a tool to lift people up.
And that's why learning these phrases is so powerful. It's not just vocabulary, it's about connecting with people on an emotional level. When you say, we'll make it work to a stressed coworker, you become the person they trust and want to work with.
You're right. I've been missing that. I would just say, okay, let's try. But we'll make it work has more energy.
It really does. Now, before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of today's 3 phrases and their meanings.
Yes, please. I want to make sure I remember.
Number 1, glass half full. Use it to describe an optimistic attitude or person. Example, even after losing the game, Coach Mike saw the glass half full and praised the team's effort.
Number 2, make it work. Use it when there's a problem, but you're willing to adapt and find a solution. Example, the printer is broken, but we'll make it work with digital copies.
Perfect. Number 3, it'll all work out. Use it to comfort someone worried about the future. Example, I know the move is stressful, but give it time, it'll all work out.
I love those examples. Can I also say, it will all work out instead of it'll?
Absolutely. It'll is just the contraction of it will. In spoken American English, contractions are much more common and natural, so use it all in casual speech, but if you're writing formally, use it will.
Got it. And I want to practice these in the comments. Maybe we can ask listeners to share their own examples?
Great idea. If you're listening, try using one of these phrases in a sentence about your own life. Write it in the comments and we'll give you feedback. And if you want more Culture Decoded episodes like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. We drop a new lesson every day.
Yes, please subscribe. It really helps us keep making these free lessons.
And remember today's rule, to sound like an optimistic native speaker. Swap I am optimistic for a real-life phrase. Glass half full, make it work, or it'll all work out. It instantly makes you sound warmer and more natural.
That's a rule I can remember. Thanks, Maya.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time on Speak Like a Native. Bye!
Bye.